Hello pattern lovers, you're welcome and welcome back. It's yet another exciting tutorial, and in today's video we'll be drafting this backless halter bandage neckline dress. This tutorial is just as simple as it appears here, and I'll be showing you how in this video. So if you're interested in learning how to go about the pattern drafting of this beautiful dress for a perfect fit, then kindly watch this video to the very end and let's get straight into it. On your pattern paper, you're going to mark the horizontal lines, the shoulder line, the bust point line, and then the waistline. Then you're going to make sure that you have a space from the shoulder line up. And for this particular tutorial, I have 5 inches up. You should have from 5 inches upwards. And because I have the hip line, the knee line, and then the skirt length all in this one pattern because I would just want to do them together. But the other part is going to come with that. Let's just get to it. On the shoulder line, you're going to divide your shoulder measurement by 2. Then you mark it and go down to your chest line. On that point again, you mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2 just so you have a straight line, and then you're going to connect it this way. Next, I'm going to come to the shoulder line and mark 3 inches as the neck width. At this point, you're going to use your standard neck width. Yeah. Then for the shoulder slope, I use 1 inch. Then I'll slant it to the 3 inches neck width this way. Then come to the chest line and take the bust measurement divided by 4. And now I'm going to use my curve to curve the armhole out this way. Then if you noticed, we are not tightening the chest area today because this pattern does not require that. On the waistline, I'm going to take the waist measurement divided by 4. Then I'll be adding extra 2 inches, and that should be the dart allowance, which will be coming later. Now I'm going to connect the waist measurement to the bust measurement this way. Then now I'll be marking the bust span. That's your nipple to nipple divided by 2. You mark it on the waistline and also on the bust point line. Then you're going to connect the 2 points together this way. On both sides now of this line, I'm going to mark 1 inch on the waistline. That's the 2 inches we added as the dart allowance to the waistline. Then I'm going to mark out the dart this way to the bust point line. The next thing I'll be doing now is to come down here by 1.5 for the bust dart, and because that's the difference between my front length and then the back length. The next thing I'll be doing now is to start from the bust point line and go up to my neck depth, okay, or your over bust line. But whatever you're going up here is your neck depth. That means you can also decide to start from your shoulder line and go down to where you want the neckline to sit. Then you measure the shoulder slope and divide that into 2 equal halves. Then you're going to connect it to the bust span like this. On both sides now of this line on the neck depth, I'll be marking ½ inch. So this will be just a gaping dart, and we are doing 1 inch for that. Okay, ½ inch on both sides. This will double as a gaping dart and as over bust tightening. Do you understand that? But yeah, I used 1 inch. Then I'm going to throw the dart legs this way, making sure that the center one is just the same as the side. And once I have that, I'm going to blend it into the neck depth on the center this way. The next thing I'll be doing now is to clean off these unwanted parts, okay, so that we know where we are going for. Then I'm going to start from this line, this particular line, and go out by 1.25. At this point, how wide you want your neckline to be depends on how much you're going out here. You can even do just ½ inch, or you can leave it at that point if you're comfortable with that neck, like the wideness, okay. Then I'm going to connect it from that point to the 3 inches neck width we have on the shoulder line. Now, because of the kind of neckline we are going for, I'll be marking the back neckline here. So from the shoulder line, I'll be coming down by 1.5. Please don't even go above 1 inch or 1.5 for your neck depth for this particular pattern, okay? You can do 1 inch or 1.5, but don't do more than that so that it will give you that particular result you see on the thumbnail. And again, don't make the curve too deep. Once you cover the neckline, you're going to measure it and take note of what you measured out. Then now I'm going to take this neckline up. Just as you connected it earlier, place your measuring your ruler that way and take it up. Then on this line now, I'll be marking the exact value I measure around the neckline depth for the back. Do you understand? That is the 3.5. And now I'm going to mark the width following this line until I meet the armhole curve, just like this. So for this bandwidth, I'm doing 2 inches. Okay, if you want it wider, you can make it wider, like do 2.25 or 2.5, but I'm doing just 2 inches. The next thing now is to blend in this part because it's not looking all nice. So we blend it in this way. And right after cleaning up this part, I'm going to measure what I have on this part, which is 3.5. Then coming to this other bandwidth, I'll be marking 4.5. So you're going to add either 1 inch or 1.5 to what you have on the other part, and then you mark it. Okay, now you're going to connect it this way. And right after doing that, the next thing we'll be doing is tightening, because if you leave it this way, it's going to gape. So I'm going to clean up this unwanted line so that we see clearly what you are going for. So you're going to target where this is likely to gape. If you have done outer neck for yourself before now, you will know where your outer neckline usually gape, and then you're going to come to that side. You can even decide to do this from where the shoulder slope is initially, but I'm doing it here. So I marked a line. Then from that point on this side, I will be coming in 1 inch, and on this other side, 0.75. Okay, 0.75 going to the inner line, then the outer line 1 inch. That is how it's going to work. You can do 1/2 inch going to the center line, then 1 inch on this side. Now we are done with the upper part. Coming to the skirt, I'm going to mark my waist measurement on the waistline. Then I'll come to the hip line and mark the hip measurement divided by 4. And whatever it is I have on the hip, I'm going to minus 1.5 from it. Okay, so I like to do it this way. I place the exact value I have on the hip and then come in 1.5 from it. You can do more, like 2 inches or 2.5, depending on how pencil you want it to be. Then whatever it is you have on the knee, you're going to take it all the way down, or you can minus from it if you want it more pencil. Okay, and that's pretty much about it for the front skirt. There is no darts on the skirt as you see it on the thumbnail. The upper part only has darts. Okay, and now you're going to work on the back pattern, which I already marked out the horizontal lines, the shoulder line, and then the waistline. Now on the shoulder line, from the center back line, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I'll be going down to the chest line. And at that point again, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. And just like we have it on the front pattern, I have the hip line, the knee line, and then the skirt length. Okay, because I can do the both on the same pattern. Now I'm going to come in here 3 inches and then come down here 1 inch for the shoulder slope. There's something I want to show you with this pattern. If not, the back neckline will just be starting from the chest line. But yeah, there's something I want to show you. Now on the waistline, I'll be coming in 0.625 to contour the center back, and then I will slant it upwards this way, and then after that I'm going to slant from that point to the hip line this way. Our measurement will be starting from this new line now. And just so we are on the same page, I have 14.5 here as my half length. Then for the front pattern, I use 16 inches. The other 1.5 missing is what I used as the bust dart. Okay, the front length is longer than the back with 1.5, and that's what I use as the bust dart. So starting from the center back contour line, I will take the bust measurement divided by 4 minus ½ inch. Then on the waistline, the waist measurement divided by 4, there's no that intake. Then on the hip line, the hip measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to connect this measurement this way. So don't get confused about the bust measurement divided by 4 minus half. I usually do bust measurement divided by 4 plus half on the front, and then on the back, the bust measurement divided by 4 minus half. It works so well for my body that way. Then starting from the shoulder line, you're going to go down to where you want the back neckline to sit. And I did 9.5 here. Okay, so you're going to connect it just from the side measurement, like from your bust measurement to that neck depth. Then for the tightening, we are supposed to be doing this from the dart intake, but since there is no dart, so I'll be doing 0.75 on this side and then ½ inch from the center back contour line. Take note of that. From the center back contour line, you're coming in ½ inch, then on the side ½ inch. But because 0.75 will do it better for my body type, I did 0.75 on the side and then half inch on the center. You know what works for your body. Normally, you're supposed to do just half inch on both sides, like on the side and then on the center. Coming to the knee, I'll be coming in from the center back by 1 inch to contour the knee. Then I'm going to slant it to the hip line this way. I'll start from this line and take the knee measurement, the same thing I have on the front pattern. Then I'm going to take that knee contour all the way to the skirt length this way. Then take the knee measurement from this new line, like just the same thing I have on the knee. And then I'm going to connect the measurement this way. From the skirt length to the knee, then from the knee to the hip line, just like this. And that's pretty much about it for the back pattern. It's not hard, like I promised. So now I'm going to clean up this center back line, then start here and add my zipper allowance of 1 inch. So whatever zipper allowance you're comfortable working with, you're going to add it at this point, but 1 inch will do it for me. Then on the knee line, I'll be adding just half inch. That will be just stitching allowance. Depending on the kind of slit you're going for, depends on the kind of allowance you're adding to on the knee part. Okay, so from the top all the way to the hip line, 1 inch. Then on the knee line, half inch. Then I connected it like that. Make sure you're following your center back line to do all of this. Then I promise to show you something. So you're going to come down here by 1.5. We are using 1.5 as the neck depth for the back, yeah? Then you're going to curve it to the neck width of 3 inches. Again, don't make this curve too deep. I know, right? Then you're going to measure what you have here now, which is just 3.5. It's the same thing with what we have on the front. Then you're going to follow this neckline curve and mark the bandwidth of 2 inches. Your desired bandwidth, but I use 2 inches. Yeah, I'm using 2 inches, so I'm doing 2 inches here, following this neckline curve. Okay, then after you're done with that now, you're going to measure also this curve and compare it with what you have on the neckline curve, the upper curve. Okay, so I have 5.5 here, which is like 2 inches extra to what I have on the upper part. Because this is going to gape a lot because of this curve, you're going to do some form of tightening. So on this part, you'll be coming in by 0.75 or at least half inch, but I recommend 0.75. Okay, this is curvier than what we used on the front pattern, like the one I shared, the method I shared on the front pattern. So you either do it on the shoulder part or on the center back, or you even do both. And you see that I'm not taking anything out on the neck, the actual neckline curve, because you don't need to do that. So you're simply going to cut this out and then you're going to join it to the front band, meaning that you're no longer following the method I shared on the front pattern. You're doing this one now. Just make sure that what you have on the down part is just 1.5 more than what you have on the upper part and nothing more than that. Okay, so I just shared two methods. You're going to follow the one that works or rocks your boot, but I highly recommend doing the one I shared on the front pattern. This one works. This one will follow the shape of your neckline better, but that would give you that exact result you're going for, the one I shared on the front pattern. Okay, so you're going to cut the back pattern out, and please note the center back so that you don't use the side as the center. Now I'm bringing in the front pattern. I'm going to just cut it out on the waistline. Then I'll go ahead and cut out the skirt out this way, which is just cutting out what I have on the side. Then to cut the upper part, I'm going to slash the waist dart all the way to the bust point, then slash the bust dart this way, apply my water glue in between, then place it on the bust point line, just as you can see me do it here. Then after that, I'm going to blend in the side seam line, which is now distorted. Then I'm going to cut the pattern out this way. I'll also show you how to go about closing the gaping dart. Okay, so I'm going to cut this just as you can see me do it here. You see what I'm doing with the neckline. You're going to just cut it like this, and then you're going to slash one of these line, and then you apply your water glue and you place it on the other line. And after that, you're going to blend in the line, which I'm just taking it as it goes, just straight like this. Then I'm going to cut the rest of the pattern out simply like this. So after cutting it out, bringing the skirt back, you see that the waistline is just the same because we the upper part only have that which we just close and it will just align with the waist measurement you have on the skirt. Okay, and that's pretty much about it. So the neckline is going to go like this, and you're going to cut the center front on fold, this particular piece on fold. Then you cut two of this. Then for the skirt, the front skirt, you are also going to cut it on fold. Then moving over to the back pattern, you can decide to slash it on the waistline if you also want to have join in there. But if your fabric will permit you, I recommend that you just cut it like this. It will look so much better. But either way, either you slash it on the waistline, you're going to cut two of the upper part and two of the skirt. But if you leave it like this, you're going to cut two of this pattern. Then for the length, you're going to make it as long as you want it, either full length or you just make it a three quarter. For this particular stole here, I used 45 inches, which is just my three quarter length. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this particular tutorial. Go ahead and transfer this to your fabric, add the necessary allowance, and happy sewing. And with this, I'll be seeing you in my next one. Bye bye.